All right, we have what's our motion again? Smartphones are making the United States better, right? And for our four side, could you please introduce yourselves with your name and something that's interesting about you?
Hi, my name is Alicia, and I do acting.
Hi, my name is Alex, and I have pro skills, pro life.
My name is Dula Flores, and I play soccer.
And we have our against team here. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Jorge Trujillo, and I like to play soccer.
I'm James, and I like to enjoy life.
My name is Alondra, and I like to play with my dog. My name's Camille, and I'm the 6th grade rep.
All right, this goes into 4 rounds. We'll have our introduction, our Q&A, and we'll have our rebuttal, Q&A, and then our conclusions. But before we begin, we're going to take a preliminary vote again. So you can use some of the things that you had learned from the prior debate because it was the same topic, basically. We're going to take a vote. Mr. Chin.
So at this time, again, there are 3 votes that you can have. You only get to choose one of them: for, against, or undecided. Right? So for the motion of smartphones are making us smarter or better, raise your hand. Raise them high. 5. Against the motion? Okay, when I point to you, drop your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop it, Tristan. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and undecided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 undecided. Excellent. All right.
For side, you begin.
Technology such as smartphones have benefited the world. Ever since smartphones were first invented, they have been trying to improve them. Now they have been improved more than ever. According to Jansensky John, smartphones are so important these days to the connectivity they provide. Hold on, Jing update. This isn't just improvements in phone calls and text messages, but there are also the number of connectivity options available. Through your smartphone, you can access Facebook and other social networking sites. Connection to parts of the world let you talk to anybody, and that's if the connection is good enough. Social networking sites let us communicate everywhere. Health apps are also let us stay in shape. Fitbit apps and heart rate and step trackers can benefit. Jennifer Jolly states, most smartphones come equipped with motion sensors that measure steps, distance, and traveled, and even stairs climbed. This means you can get fit anywhere. This keeps you healthy. All that comes with an affordable price, only costing at the cheapest $150 and less, with the functions that are the same as more expensive pieces of technology.
Smartphones have been around for a long time, and they have impacted our world by giving us information. The way smartphones can help with our memory is that they can cram our head with information and give us a lot of ideas about life, technology, school, and other information that can help us. Without smartphones, we would all have to rely on books and school. Sometimes technology can give us benefits that we can use in life, such as reflex, memory, attention, and could possibly be help you do better planning. Smartphones quote, smartphones are so important these days due to the connectivity they provide. This isn't just improvements in phone calls and text messages, but there are also a number of connectivity options available, stated by John Vetsky. Also, technology could be increasing our IQ that can make us smarter. Also, you can learn from websites and gather information for you that you can use later for important subjects, different stuff.
Does the foresight rest?
Yes.
Give them a round of applause.
Our group is against smartphones because it affects the body mentally and physically in a negative way. For example, when you stare at a screen too much on a phone, there's tissue lossage in the brain in important places such as the front lobe of the brain. Also, there are car accidents. And in the year 2014, 3,179 people died in car accidents and 431,000 got injured. This is stated by a company that deals with problems like that. The smartphone isn't really that important to use. You could use a normal phone because the main reason is just to call. But like with research and other stuff, there's stuff like books and stuff that you can read to learn stuff off.
As James said, our thesis is that we are against smartphones because they have a negative effect on humans and in a negative way because of it affects us in a negative, in a physical, mentally and physical way. And they're taking over people because people, according to Kenneth Bird, people spend at least or more 4 hours a day on their phones, and if you think about it, over a month, that's 86 hours of being on your phone because of addictions. And there's another article that my group found about 10 deaths that have happened because people being too much on their phone. One is because a man dropped his phone in a trash compactor, and he wanted his phone back, so he went in to go get it back, and his wife realized that he never came back, so she called the police about a missing case on a man, and they went back into the trash compactor to find a dead, lifeless body inside because the man tried to get his phone back. And there's another one where just by trying to take the perfect selfie, the radiation got to the woman's phone, to the woman's brain cells, and it damaged her really bad. She died after that. Smartphones are causing problems with the way that people make their decisions in a bad way. When they are looking at a screen too long, it reduces the volume of the tissue in the brain. The other group, wait, no.
Is that the forward check? Give the inside a round of applause, please. Entering into our rebuttal phase. 4 sides, begin. Sarah, stop.
So the reported deaths that the other team stated, that's not always the phone's fault. It's mostly human stupidity. So Exactly. Texting and driving deaths and injuries are not always due to smartphones, but the stupidity of humans. People blame the phone even though it's the use of the phone by a person at the wrong time. You can't blame the equipment for the death if the person is responsible for the action of using the item in and at the wrong time. It's like saying a gun shot somebody even though it was the person who even though it was the person who took control of the item and used it the wrong way. You can't always blame the item for actions that like a person used the item in order to like use it the wrong way. The item is not always blamed for the subject. It's just human stupidity. Like you can't be talking about driving accidents and trash compactor deaths because of a phone. It was human stupidity to lead to that death because they were trying to get their phone. They didn't need to, but human stupidity led to it.
Wait until the end.
As heard by Alex, yes, smartphones can cause deaths, but it's basically based on the human because they decided that they wanted to risk their life by trying to get their smartphone. If they decided, hey, I can just get another phone, they would probably be alive today. But some people decide to make dumb decisions that will risk their life or other people's life in the total. So smartphones, they're not really supposed to be used for that. They're supposed to help the person and support them with everything they need, like education, memory, and stuff like that, instead of using them for like driving and talking to your friends, and yeah.
Is that the end of the rebuttal? Yeah. You may give them a round of applause. Other team may begin your rebuttal.
Basically, you guys are saying smartphones make life more simpler and easier. Yes, smartphones can make lives more simpler and easier in some cases, but it also does make our lives more complex and harder. Phones can make our lives more complex because it can damage children's brains when they're using phones at a young age. This generation of children at like 3 years old used phones during the day, and it could damage brains, especially because the brains are still developing. It can also make people's life harder because when a person uses a phone, they can easily become addicted. Studies show that things like video games can release a gas in your body called dopamine, and dopamine makes you crave more and more. As stated by Victoria L. Ducking, 2014, paragraph 7, research on video games have shown dopamine is released during video games, and carving or urge for gaming produce brain change that are similar to drug craving. Since this happened, people are most likely to become addicted to their phones and screens. Addictions happen all over the world, all over the U.S., and it can make other people's lives worse.
Talk about making your life worse.
So you guys said that smartphones are an important thing in daily life, but how is it an important thing in daily life if it also affects the people's brain and how they work? Because an example is like social media. Social media, people always use like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and people also talk about their thoughts, and it could affect somebody because it could hurt somebody's feelings. And things like cyberbullying goes on, and it can really hurt a person, especially that lots of kids nowadays have social media, and it's more likely that there's cyberbullying going on. So kids can feel insecure about themselves and feel isolated because some text from a cell phone and on social media. And as stated by Victoria L. Dunkley, it quickly becomes evident that I was drawn back to the computer with growing frequency and increased emotional investment. If my message was well received, I felt validated, vindicated, and smart. And if my message was ignored, it was certain proof that no one cared about the things that interested me most. I felt isolated. This was by a parent that joined social media because her kids used it so much and they were always on their cell phone and never paid attention to the things around them. So social media is not only for kids but also for adults too. And so this can happen to adults and kids. So like with cell phones, they could negatively affect a person's feelings or thoughts. And you guys said that, you guys also said that smartphones can help you guys keep in shape, but that's not the smartphone's thing. It's you that decides to want to go in shape, and even if like a Fitbit or something, you have to buy another gadget that connects to your cell phone, and it only keeps track of your health and but you're the one who's making the decisions to eat healthy or to exercise.
Like Camille was saying, with the health, you guys, you don't need to spend money to buy stuff to like get fit. You learn that stuff in PE. You don't really need that to help. Like it's not that hard to go and work out and stuff.
Are we taking a break? No, he's taking his charger. Is there any other rebuttal? Pause video.